ready to be beaten by a girl. Ah! Get ready to be beaten by a girl. Ah! 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 Get ready to be beaten by a girl. Ah! 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 Bring it on.
Yes, indeed.
Follow my lead. Get ready to be beaten by a... Ah! Ah!
to me!
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Oh, great spirits of the Stone Tomb, please hear our plea. The other lizardling tribes take our territory. They wage war. And before we fight them for our ancestral hatching grounds, we ask for your blessings.
There certainly are an awful lot of them. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
A warm blood. Here. Your very presence offends the Stone God. And this gives you the right to intrude on our lands and disturb our most holy of rituals. What do you propose, then, warm blood? We are not your neighbors by choice. Warmbloods have broken many deals with the people of the Scale before. Your words are wasted and futile. Kill the intruders. Sacrifice them to the Stone God.
We were risking life and limb for that? None of this makes any sense. Dagon can do his own blasted quest from now on. When you're done searching around, let's get out of here.
You have returned, and you have brought the shard.
That's all you can say? I almost died out there!
If I did not believe you could handle the task, I would have sent another.
Yeah, well, you weren't out there in the swamp getting attacked by lizard folk.
No, I was here attending the wounded, Bevel. Now find Marion and do the same.
I don't see how you put up with him.
Now, for the shard. Let me see it. Our talk is for our ears alone. Bevel has served his purpose and does not need to be troubled any further. Bevel has his uses, but it is not wise to depend on someone of Starling blood for too long. Also, his complaining tires me and will not serve you where you are bound. Many such ruins lie within the mare and beneath it. They are of ancient Ilfarn, an empire once forged from an alliance of dwarfs and elves. All that remains are ruins, and little else. And their empire lives on only in history books and stories. That shard is one of a pair. Both were found after the battle that destroyed West Harbor long ago. My half-brother Duncan and I asked a mage in Neverwinter to examine the shards for enchantments, but he found nothing except a faint magical aura, residue of the battle. And so I kept one shard, and the other I gave to Duncan. Not long after I returned to West Harbor, I sealed it away in the ruins. So to speak, it would be more appropriate to say that I have a half-brother. Duncan, like Bevel, has many faults that would make it wise not to rely on him or call him kin. It was long ago, and it was a battle that did not concern West Harbor, but the village was caught up in it like many such villages in the Mare of Dead Men. We knew little about what had sparked the conflict. Demons were involved, led by a warlock of great power. We only knew him as the King of Shadows. The forces of Neverwinter attempted to drive the demons back. Many villagers fled, some taking the road, others wading into the swamp, anything to escape the battle. There was an explosion, pure and white, then nothing more. Strange. Perhaps the attack awakened it. If so, then perhaps a second look at these shards would yield different results. But such divinations would be beyond anyone here in West Harbor, including Tarmus. That is the only reason I can think of for why they came. Am I certain? No. But my instincts tell me they were looking for it. I could not bring myself to cast it away. Yet at the same time, I did not wish to keep it close. You are too young to remember what occurred, I know. But the battle was a terrible one. And that shard, it reminds me too much of that night. I need you to go to the city of Neverwinter, find my half-brother Duncan, retrieve the second shard, and take it to a mage you both can trust. Duncan owns an inn in the docks district of the city, the Sunken Flagon. Not the most reputable place, but safe enough. No, I know you value him as a friend, but he will be of no help outside of West Harbor. He would only slow you down. Bevel is made for simpler things. Very well. Let us waste no more time in discussing your friend. If you have other questions, ask them. That is possible, but this village cannot shelter you or survive another attack. On the road, moving, you have a chance. Once you reach Neverwinter, it may prove more difficult for them to attack you. Head to the small port town of Highcliff when you are free of the swamp. There, seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter. The beast that attacked us will leave West Harbor alone once they realize their quarry has fled. If all goes well, you should be in Neverwinter before they find your trail. Say your farewells. Your boots may travel many roads before you return. I let some of the others know you are leaving, but not the why of it. I was raised amongst the wild elves, and for all my years amongst the race of man, they make little sense to me. Even though you are not one of them, you understand them better than I. I have done all I can to hide your presence. If these beasts come again, West Harbor will need me. I have created a screen of activity. On a normal night, your trip with Bevel would have been easily spotted, but not tonight. It still may not be enough, but there is little else I can do. Perhaps one day we will speak again, and gain an understanding of each other. We are all in danger. I will try my very best to keep the hunters busy. If Tymora wills it, your journey will be quick and safe. But Lady Luck is fickle indeed in the mare. Steel yourself for danger. Return when you are ready to leave, and we will speak of the path you must take.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened here in years. I had high hopes for Amy. She was a rare find in West Harbor. A shame she failed to heed her first lesson. Always listen to Tarmas. Not that I expect you would understand, but she was the only one capable of holding a coherent conversation with me. Go if you must, but mysteries remain here that need to be answered. When I had made it clear to stay out of it. I am no doddering scholar in need of your amateurish attempts to help. The girl died a meaningless death. A needless sacrifice only helps your enemy. Learn this lesson, and you may avoid Amy's fate. The swamp has many denizens, most dangerous, and all of them particularly irksome. But these new pests are not native. So it stands to reason they traveled through leagues of swamp trails and this odious smell to get here. Anyone that desperate has to have a good reason, so whatever you're carrying, guard it carefully. Anyone fool enough to go through that much effort to come here won't give up easily. I've already lost Amy to their determination. Give something? To you? Hardly. I've already lost an apprentice, the fool girl. I have no intention of making any further sacrifices. You'd be wise to begin your journey before I turn you into a toad or something. I've been missing a few things, and I have a good idea who's responsible. Oh, very well. I suppose I could always use more coin.
So, your father sent you off to Neverwinter. As if everything that's happened tonight isn't enough adventuring for one lifetime. I'm hoping that you'll be back soon enough after you reach the city, but most people who leave West Harbor don't come back. Not that I'm not tempted. Amy certainly would have jumped at the chance, but we lost a lot of harbormen to the attack. Hopefully your father's right and there will be no more attacks once the shard is gone. Still, the village will need every sword arm it has. As a member of the militia, my sworn duty is to defend West Harbor. I can't just turn my back on that. I'll do my best to keep the place standing for you when you return. I want to hear about all of your adventures. I've got some bandages here, though I hope you won't need to use them. You can also have my share of the loot that we found. You'll need it more than I do. Wish I could go with you, but the defense of the village is important too. Not really. There's an inn north of here along the road. It's the only one between here and the edge of the mare, from what I understand. Plenty of lizard folk in the swamp, of course. Just stick to the roads and you'll be fine, though. At least, that's what I've heard. Good luck. And if you run across the one who killed Amy, stick a blade through his heart for me. She deserves at least that.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that... Oh.
So, Dagon is sending you to Neverwinter, eh? I can't say I approve. If it were a militia matter, I wouldn't send you alone. But I don't have any right to tell him how to raise his child. Can you at least tell me why you're going? Your father wouldn't tell me a thing. Since when have you done anything for the village except cause trouble, eh? Oh, Dagon said the same thing, though. It won't be easy reaching Neverwinter. I've traveled that way once or twice. It's a dangerous journey, especially for one traveling alone. You might want to ask around the village. There may be a few people that would still be willing to help a troublemaker like you. You've caused nothing but trouble since you were born. I think I've been too easy on you over the years. Out there, people don't have too much patience for troublemakers and bullies like yourself. The road is as wild as a road can get and still be called a road. And that was before the patrols stopped coming. There's only the one road in the mare, and that leads to us. There's a small inn on the way. Makes most of his trade off adventurers and the like. Galen, you remember him? The merchant? Well, he says the road is even worse than before. Lizardlings and other creatures have been sighted, and in large numbers. He's about the only merchant that comes our way. Does it once or twice a year. And thank Joaquin he does. We don't have a blacksmith, so he sells us what we can't make ourselves. With the way he loves to stop and chat, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught up with him. Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say is I wish they'd start up again. Might have prevented the attack on us, or at least given us some warning. Well, you already know about that war they had against Luskan a while back. Nasty business that was. Lost too many Greycloaks in that campaign, from what I hear. The whole city was burned to the ground. Every last house. And that it was. If you go there now, you wouldn't recognize it. It was rebuilt in just over a year. By gnomes, I hear. And the war killed many men. The Watch just doesn't have the numbers they used to. One of the Watch's marshals, though, is a harborman, like you and I. You remember Cormac, right? He sometimes makes his way here. Lizardlings you already know, although the ones around here are the weakest of their lot. So if you see others, expect a tough fight. The swamp beetles and other critters have been more active too. Adar said he saw a whole nest of them not 2 moons back, scuttling around the mare. And lastly, stick to the road. I hear there are spiders, walking dead, and worse, off the road. Of course. Like what? So, you want to hear a story? Look out for the swamp elf. You see, an elf never stops growing, and usually They had to Evermeet before they get much bigger than human-sized. But one of the eldest lives in our own swamp. Huge he is, tall as a tree. It's the truth, I say. This giant elf has been known to hurl rocks great distances, and it has the evil eye. If it ever locks eyes on you... No, but close. It turns you into a stone. Not stone, but a stone. Just look around the swamp, and you'll see hundreds of its victims. And just by looking at them, you can't tell if it's just an ordinary rock or whether it used to be a man. If you listen quietly, late at night, you can even hear them. Just don't look him in the eyes.
Now that we're outside, maybe you'd like to tell me what you said again. Slowly this time, so you could think about what you're saying.
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself, dwarf. Maybe you've come looking for trouble. Unless you have a little coin to convince us otherwise. Nothing that concerns you, elf. This is between us and the dwarf. And whatever coin he happens to have with him.
Ah, you're welcome to try to take it if you're all game. You all can't be frightened of one little dwarf, can you? If you're afraid of being humiliated in front of the elf here, well, now I can understand that.
We're not frightened of either of you, and it seems to me you need to learn a lesson.
Outnumbered? Well, I suppose they could bring some more friends if they wanted. That might even things up a bit.
This matter is between us and the dwarf here. It's none of your concern.
Come on. Someone tried to hit me already. Even the newcomer here sees that you're all too afraid to do anything.
All right, I've heard enough of this. Come on, boys. Let's deal with the dwarf and his new friend.
Think you can take me?
Well now, that was a good fight. A shame they had to resort to weapons. But if they have to keep the odds even, can't blame them too much. Have to admit, wasn't expecting an elf to come along, or to pitch in like that. Name's Khadgar, by the way, of the clan Iron Fist. I've been making my way along the coast for some time now, stopped in the Willow here for a brief fight. Ha! Even the odds! They didn't stand a chance in the first place. Obviously, you haven't heard of me. So, tell me, what brings you out along the mare? Roads aren't exactly safe, you know, and they're getting worse all the time. Seems it's your lucky day, then. I happen to be traveling to Neverwinter as well. Now that's a tale. Oh, glad you asked. But can't discuss it without a tankard or two, I think. I say we step inside the Weeping Willow here and share our stories over a few of the innkeeper's best. So then I punched him in the face for asking. And while he was trying to pick his teeth off the floor, his friend decided to add a few choice words about my heritage. So I punched him too. So to make a long story short, I take pride in what I do, fighting. It's something you can't get enough of, and it's something where there's always room for improvement. If you apply yourself, stay focused, and keep swinging. And that's why I'm headed to Neverwinter. I heard there's a house of monks there. A monastery, right? I heard they'll train anyone, just for the asking. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity. Aye, that's the short of it. No stranger than half of what takes place in Faerun, I can tell you that. Well, as it happens, I didn't always want to become a monk. What happened was that...
The Kalachar, find it.
Well, look at this. Our next round of practice just arrived. Take that! Ha! Take that!
Get ready to be beaten.
Mm-hmm.
Well now, I've had a good time so far. And the way you attract trouble. I haven't had this much fun since that tavern back at Bogan's Pass where I was using that trestle table as a battering ram. Oh, look, we're heading in the same direction and you seem to have more enemies than friends. What say we travel together? Might be able to teach each other a few things. Good. I'd be glad for the company and the conversation. And don't you worry about me keeping up. Khadgar Iron Fist carries his own weight. I won't be slowing you down. Take that! Ha! Take that! Take that! Take that!
What, demon? No screams for us? Maybe we should brand you. Maybe that'll loosen your tongue.
Leave me alone! I've done nothing to you.
Well, now Commander Valis will be happy to hear that, he will. It means his work here is all done. He can just give up the fort and go home.
Still, there's just the small matter of those bounties on bandits he posted. And a bandit with demon blood, well, there's no telling how much that's worth.
Of course, you could tell us where your camp is. Valis will pay more for that, he will. And we won't even have to butcher the lot of you.
I told you I'm not with those bandits. Or are you deaf and stupid?
Stupid? Here we were, thinking about letting you live. Now you've gone and changed our minds.
Huh, hold on, look at this. An elf and a dwarf, maybe friends of hers.
This don't concern you. We're soldiers from Fort Lock, hunting bandits.
That we are. Caught this demon trying to raid our camp, and we were about to deal with her.
Nothing yet, but a crew's been out in these parts. They've been raiding merchants, caravans, maybe even killed the old commander.
I told you I'm not with those bandits.
Shut your lying mouth, demon. You'll get the blade soon enough. You think you're going to stop us, are you?
You know, Valis might pay for 3 bandit bounties. He's not one for asking questions.
Especially about a demon, a runty dwarf, and a dirty harborman who doesn't know enough to keep walking.
Runty dwarf? I know you cowards aren't talking to me, or you'll be talking to my fist next.
Good enough for me. Let's kill them all and I'll sort out the tale later.
Get ready to be beaten by a girl.
Take this!
Give me... Guess that's what they get for underestimating an elf, eh? Last mistake they'll make. Thanks for helping me out. Guess I owe ya, huh? Hey, you're nice. Sorry, I don't mean to sound so surprised. Well, actually I am. I mean, it's just, well, unexpected. I mean, once folks catch sight of me, usually it's the horns, they run in the other direction. And all those tales about tieflings being cursed don't help much either. I'm Neeshka, by the way. I'm really glad you came when you did. Wasn't really sure how I'd get out of that one. Of course, they never would have caught me in the first place if that invisibility potion I'd bought hadn't been watered down. If I ever see that merchant again... Well, I was actually trying to pass the fort by. Make my way farther south. Well, I thought that potion I bought would help. You see, once the local garrison sees me, they tend to want to throw me in a cell or attack me on sight. Of course, the potion wears off right as I cross paths with those thugs from Fort Lock. They were looking for easy bounties, and I showed up right on time. It's been that way ever since the new fort commander posted bounties on bandits. Some of his soldiers have been hunting down anyone they find on the road and claiming they're bandits. It's just banditry of a different sort. They rob the travelers and then get the bounty too. The roads are even less safe now than they were before. Do you think I could join you? Just for now. I won't get in the way, I promise. It's just that I don't know how long I can survive on my own. And, well, I do owe you one.
Can't say I trust her. Tieflings will stab you in the back and run off with your purse the moment you drop your guard.
Yeah? Well, dwarves are squat, smelly drunks who'll chop someone in half just to show they're tough.
Oh, is that so? Why don't you step down here and say that again?
Oh, this'll be fair. I don't even have any of my gear. But please let me come with you. I owe you for saving me. And those soldiers will just try to kill me again if they catch me out here on my own. Thanks. I won't let you down, I swear. I think those Fort Lock thugs have my gear locked away here. How can I help? Well, well, well. Looks like this lock needs some special attention. Everybody, follow me!
Uh-huh.
How can I help?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.